Harringtons, the Criers. Temptation Tuesdays are back. It's Tyler Perry's fatal final season, and no one is safe.
You think this is a game?
Don't do anything stupid.
There's something about you that's bad news.
I'm always 2 steps ahead of you.
Handle this.
He was hell-bent on taking you with him.
I need an ambulance right away.
I want it done now.
I don't want to hurt that man.
Why don't you come on in?
All right, haves and have-not fans, this is the fatal final season trailer breakdown. So this is our final ever extended trailer breakdown to do for the series, and well, yeah, it was intense. It was intense. Now, it was only 30 seconds long, but it was pretty damn good. You know, a lot of drama going on. So before going further in the video, let's try to get to 100,000 views. Hit the thumbs up button to show you like it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon to select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content on the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. So what I'm going to do first is just simply go over the dialogue for the narrator, not counting the very end where she just says the title of the show and the, time slot. But the Youngs, the Harringtons, the Criers, Temptation Tuesdays are back. And I love this line here. It's Tyler Perry's fatal final season and no one is safe. I honestly feel that way because this trailer shows, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be completely upfront. I was gonna save this for later, but I think Benny dies. I think Benny dies. And I'll get to that in just a moment. But yeah, the trailer pretty much kind of starts off with like she says, the Youngs, the Harringtons, and the Criers. Like, I like how it's edited. So when she says the Youngs, we see Benny, Candace, Hannah. And then the Harringtons, we see Jeffrey, David, Veronica. And then the Criers, we get Catherine, Wyatt, and Jim. But the thing is, with the Youngs, they're all together in the kitchen. With the Harringtons, they're all outside of David's house. And with the Criers, you got Catherine in jail. You got Wyatt in the loft with Broderick, and then you got Jim standing outside of Catherine's house with Celine. All right, so let's break things down. So first of all, you got Benny and Candace rushing over. Here's what I'm thinking, because they're rushing over to Hannah's house, and it looks like, they're concerned because Hannah looks like she's crying in the kitchen. So I'm wondering, did they come over immediately because something happened? What if the Malone showed up to Hannah's place looking for Benny and Candace? That's a possibility. Now, from there, there's another scene in the trailer where we got Candace and Benny in that same scene, and it looks like Candace is telling Benny to handle this, and I think, Benny is standing there looking dumbfounded as Candace leaves. So I'm wondering if it's a situation where, they need to handle things with the Malones once and for all. So, yeah, I feel like the Malones are like the major shadow being cast in the trailer. Let's see here. So we get a couple of interesting scenes with Candace, by the way. I think the one people really want me to talk about is we get a scene where Mitch looks pretty beaten up, and we see Benny kind of watching from behind his desk. So I would say this isn't the same scene, because later on in the trailer, and I'm only talking about this scene back to back to back due to the outfits being worn, Mitch is screaming, "Candace!" because it looks like Candace is being dragged away on the floor as Mitch is beaten up and held down on the floor. Obviously the Malone's doing. So I don't know if Jim and the Malones are teaming up here, because I feel like the Malones will handle their business. It's just that Jim and David's slight interrogation to Vinny about the whole Mitch situation has caused them to go into their own investigation, because if I remember correctly, after David left Vinny's office, Vinny called one of his, boys to check the serial numbers on the money that Mitch gave to Vinny to pay off Jim and Benny's debt. So this could be used to prove that Mitch was actually playing games and Benny's debt wasn't paid. It was the fact that Jim unknowingly paid off Wyatt and Benny's debt. And on top of that, remember the fact that Jim said as soon as the protection is lifted, then he's going after Hannah's kids. So it's unknown exactly what's happening here, but I feel like it's a situation where it's possible that Jim and the Malones are maybe working together. But either way, I think the Malones beat the hell out of Mitch for using their family name, basically betraying the family. Because speaking of Benny, we get some interesting scenes. Him and Rihanna are on that date, and she's like, "There's something about you that's bad news." And we get a couple of scenes where Candace is in her hotel room. It looks like she's in bed and somebody's standing over her and she's spooked by it. But I don't know who it is. It could be a Malone, but based on what she's wearing, I don't think so. We also get another scene in the trailer where we see a door opening. And then we look over and we see Candace spooked in her bed. I don't think the person opening this door is the same person that's going to be in the hotel room with Candace. If nothing else, I think this is probably Wyatt opening the door to one of the rooms in the hospital, probably escaping his room. Because later on in the trailer, we see that Wyatt is at the loft and he's wearing like a staff's outfit, because I think he's wearing like a hospital name tag. So it definitely feels like, Wyatt escapes the hospital eventually and he's at the loft. But then for some reason, he makes his way over to David's house. And then, of course, we see, I think, Madison, Jeffrey, and Leo. And then we get another scene where Leo is calling for an ambulance right away. And we see David rushing into the house with the paramedics right behind him. Jim is crying. So I think it's safe to say that Wyatt is dead. Wyatt is going to die at some point in the actual season. Now, it might be a couple episodes from now, but he is going to die. And then that's why Jim's upset, because you got to think about it. This is at David's house. Wyatt is seen at David's house in the trailer. What else could happen to make Jim cry? Now, how does he die? I don't know. It looks like he's attacking Leo. Does he possibly overdose? Does he have a gun or a weapon and then it backfires and he dies? It's one of those situations. So what I'm more fearful about is like, damn, how is Jeffrey going to take this? I mean, because first he sees Justin die in front of him and he's possibly going to see Wyatt die in front of him. These were two men that he loved and or had feelings for. So this is going to be pretty interesting to say the least. Not to mention, Madison is present during both times. But in any case, there was that one scene at the beginning of the trailer where it looks like David and Jeffrey are standing in front of Veronica outside of David's house. So it is a possibility that, Veronica knows what's going on as well. So from there, we also get Catherine side-eyeing someone in her jail cell. And then we see that there's somebody in her jail cell with her who I believe is Diamond Castile, who is a relative of little Lizzie, who was the little girl that Wyatt hit and run. And remember, Mama Rose said that she might arrange it to have somebody from the family in her cell. So we know a fight's going to break out now. What's going to happen with Catherine? Will she die? I don't know exactly, but this is not going to be good. All right, so we go over to, speaking of Veronica, the same scene we had from the end credit trailer for next week's episode. I don't know what she's saying when she's beside Tanner. It's like, is it quit the drama, cut the drama? But in any case, we see Colby getting punched in the face, and then the guys kind of gang up on him and start kicking and stomping him while he's down. So it's probably a situation where, similar to what David had done to Justin. Remember when like the one delivery guy had the flowers for Justin, and then when Justin goes to get him a tip, two other guys show up and beat the hell out of him. I feel like that's the same situation. Now, does Colby die? I don't know. But then again, like they say, this is the fatal final season, and it's possible that he's going to die. That's what I think. It's definitely possible. All right, so we're almost done here, to be honest. Let's see. We get another bunch of cutaways. We get Veronica and Marco, probably just doing the handiwork. Hey, you're still being followed. We get Landon talking with Candace. I think he's talking to Candace, because we get Charles smiling at somebody and shaking a hand. Probably Conley or one of the people that Conley is referring for the cabinet. But we get Landon on the phone saying, don't do anything stupid. Probably talking to Candace, and it's going to be a scene from next week's episode. Veronica telling Jim exactly what she said in the promo for next week. I'm always 2 steps ahead of you. And I guess the last thing for me to talk about is exactly what I was saying at the beginning of the video. I think Benny's going to die, because we get one scene where Jim's on the phone saying, I want it done, and I want it done now. We got Benny looking out the window shades or whatever, like the curtain of a window. I don't know if this is at the hotel or if it's at his new house. Since we haven't seen the inside of Benny's new house, I can't really say where that, you know, like if we're at that specific location. But what I'm thinking is the one scene we got of Benny standing outside and he's looking scared. This is after he's beaten up. His face looks a little bruised, obviously, after the Malone encounter at the restaurant. Because remember, he's dating Sandy's girl. I'm thinking, because there's one scene where there's a drive-by, there's a van that opens up and there's some bullets that are fired and you can tell with the flash it's some white people. What if these are the guys that were sent over by Jim, possibly? Or these could be the Malones. I don't know which one, but I would be more inclined to say, as Jim said on the phone, I want it done and I want it done now. I'm thinking Jim arranged for Benny to be killed because the Malone protection is lifted, because they still got his money. Benny is killed, and then we got Rihanna on her stoop and she's crying. And then I think Hannah's on the phone with Catherine's like, I don't want to hurt that man, because the final scene of the episode, this final scene of the trailer is Hannah kind of, you know, creeping in the house, Catherine's house, and then she sees Jim sitting in the bathroom on the tub, and then Jim's like, why don't you come on in? And these two kind of close in on each other, and Hannah might kill Jim. I don't know. But that's the overall trailer. A lot of crazy stuff's going on, but I think Wyatt's going to die. I think Colby's going to die. I think Benny's going to die. And Hannah might kill Jim. Because it's kind of ironic given the fact that one of the most iconic fight scenes of the series is when Jim attacked Candace back at Candace's apartment back in season 1 after Amanda tried to overdose. And then, of course, you look at the situation where I don't know what's going to happen to Candace, but it would be, I don't know, she might die. I don't know, she might die. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this Fatal final season trailer breakdown. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Were there any things that I missed? I know that Tanner did say that same line from the promo. I know I'm repeating myself, but again, they say a lot of the same things about Justin was hell-bent on taking you down with him. I'll do separate videos like, did Justin have an STD? Will Hannah kill Jim? Will Benny die? Things like that. Expect those videos between now and next Tuesday when the haves and the have-nots returns. Make sure you donate to the channel if you would like to, that is, on PayPal or Cash App. And with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next video.